Here we go, we're about to kick things off here. Map 1, Ascent between Gen.G and 100 Thieves in this best of 3, a lower round 2 matchup. It's going to be a good one, so make sure you tell your friends and get everybody strapped in. Sean, what are you seeing off the bat?
Oof, let's see. So right off the bat, we have a mid control. This is definitely going to be a mid control round from the attackers. And it looks like Nitro is going to be over this B site, and his goal is to make sure no one can push B, right? He has a wall, he has slows, he's going to offer a quick rotate to come in. I'm sure we're going to see a wall if Steel spots anything, but we're not going to see that. And Omen's putting so much pressure on mid. GMT is aggressively taking this stand.
And GMT lining up the paranoia there for Catwalk and Tree, and that's going to allow his teammates to enter, or maybe not. The counter utility there from Asuna, the paint shells will actually deny them, and that's a great win early on here for the likes of Gen.G. Asuna, though, playing around in the smoke, trying to see if he can find something. He was spotted there. Could be some spam that might find a kill, but very tentative action here. Very scary things, but a reset, just buying some time, and it looks like they want to re-exec in towards that tree position. But Gen.G, they're still holding on to this. They don't want to give it up.
What a great smoke coming in from Ethan. And the triple cat setup versus the cat hit. Gen.G is coming out on top.
Rushing straight through to the side as well. So it's looking pretty good for them in terms of the side take. But, of course, you know, the post plant, the retake is now on. See Hiko just maintaining control of rafters. And 100 Thieves will just set themselves up here, readying themselves to coordinate in for a push.
Turret out.
Well, this is going to be such a hard retake here for 100 Thieves. They have the paranoia still. They do not. So this is going to be almost impossible without an A main smoke.
There we go, straight through the door, making the action happen. Gen.G only with the side to defend from, but they are connecting the bullets that they need to win this round. Great stuff there from Gen.G to hold that retake against 100 Thieves. And already, I'm liking what we're seeing, Sean. We're seeing plays, we're seeing counters, you know, action, reaction, and it's not looking too one-sided. Every sort of situation looks like it could go either way. That, to me, signals good things going forward here.
Yeah, I love the play out of Gen.G. I mean, I mentioned Ethan's perfect time on the counter smoke, but here's the thing. If they just jump through that smoke on a pistol round, the likelihood of them getting, you know, 2 of them taken out is so unlikely. You get vision so quick coming out of that Omen smoke. They just plow through it, take the A site, and they get the frag on Omen. So there's no smokes for A main, there's no paranoia into the site, and the hold just becomes so much easier for Gen.G. Really sick take there.
Here.
And I'm really happy. I'm always happy to see, especially the underdog team in a matchup at the beginning of the series, on the attacking side, winning the pistol and getting to start to set the pace, maybe condition their opponents. They get to play their game plan. And then in that sense, I like to see that because it's just really cool to see what a team is prepared without having too many problems thrown in the works early on. Now, of course, we have a pause at the moment, so we'll get to talk about the setup, or what we should expect, at least from Gen.G. You know, they've just won the pistol round. We can actually see there that Steel's bought a Bucky, and we know, of course, he loves playing with the Bucky, especially around the A site. But it's a stack towards the B site otherwise for the rest of the 100 Thieves members. So that seems to be the place where Gen.G would find the most problems. But Gen.G tend to be a team, Sean, I've noticed on Ascent, that they play their anti-ecos fairly predictably. And that has actually been punished in the previous matches that I've seen from them. Once the team kind of realizes that the kind of flow that they have throughout the kind of early to mid round.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Steel with that Bucky. It's terrifying. It's terrifying watching him because he knows the optimal distance for that right click. He pings the ground, you know, gets X meters away where he can one-shot people with ease, and he plays it so well. He plays it like some kind of weird mad scientist that's trying to make all of his opponents mauled by one-shotting them with a Bucky, right? And then he has a turret holding his catwalk, and you can see he placed that turret in such a way where if the enemies smoke those stairs, the turret won't get smoked off. So it's in the exact little corner to dodge that. And then the molly he has at the A site, that's by the switch. So if the team does an A strat, and you know they're rushing the A site, he'll back off and he'll pop that Molotov so that way no one can close the door. It's actually brilliant. His setup right here at the A site, because he's all alone, it's an eco round, he's going to have a Bucky. He's just trying to do a lot of damage and make people go the other way. Meanwhile, these other 4 guys on 100 Thieves are going to stack the B site. It could get scary. It could get scary if Gen.G doesn't take this correctly. But if you look at Gen.G, you know, their turret's deep outside of B main, so we're probably going to see something more passive over towards B. They're honestly looking like they're going to gravitate more towards an A control type anti-eco.
And one of the things I've noticed too about Gen.G's approaching the anti-eco is that they tend to kind of late finish around market and after gaining information. Obviously, it always depends on the info that they've gained as to how they will make decisions around that. But well, the action is about to kick off, and it will give us the answers we're looking for. And
little HUD glitch there with Win on the Viper. Only in our dreams. Only in our dreams, Dan. Look at this aggression. The arrow through the smoke.
So we'll be able to defend that. So definitely we're anticipating early round aggression. And well, they might not walk into steal now, having killed a bunch of players towards the main. Hiko, that's actually a really great kill to get, especially in a forward position. No one's going to really want to push into B main now, especially because Kusta's alone. He will be the only person to do it.
Yeah, and they just spotted steal on catwalk, so they know both players are 1-1 split right now. If they make a move quick, Gen.G will have a 1-on-3 out of sight. You can see GMD lurks out A main, and he's doing this because he knows 1 cat, 1 B, so he knows A is open. But his team is rushing B right into these 2 players, Dan.
Oh god, it's starting to get a little bit scary. Another headshot coming in from Hiko with that Sheriff, and it's going to slow things down. And they're going to have to wait for GMD. Indeed, that's that late lurk through A definitely paying off. This is a lot of damage, and it just goes to show why Gen.G gave so much respect to Under Thieves here, because despite winning the round, that was pretty losable. And just 2 players left. Very dangerous situation. But regardless, it will be a conversion, 2 rounds to 0 now in favor of Gen.G, moving into the first buy round.
Yeah, I really like how Gen.G's approaching these early rounds. They had a safety net, right? That's why I like to call these, GMD's lurk, right? Typically, you don't want that lurk across the map, but on these eco rounds where you're going to run into stacks, people taking heavy risks because they don't have the utility. They don't have the weapons to take the one-on-ones like they would on a normal round. So you're going to see a lot of stacks, a lot of aggression, kind of similar to what we saw at 100 Thieves. So how do you combat that? You leave people on the opposite side of the map to take ground while you push the side you're on. So GMD acts as, a safety blanket. They fall back into him and he secures the round.
So going into the first defaults in his buy rounds, because we have some Spectres still in play for Gen.G, what would you want to see them actually try and accomplish here? Are we looking for a faster round to kind of make good of those Spectres? Is that too predictable? Does Gen.G just want to start, setting the pace for how their defaults are going to look in the 4-buy rounds? What should they be up to here?
There's really no right answer, right? Because if they go slow, they bleed out utility from the other team. That's costing them money. If they take armor away from the other team, that's upgrades to them. If they rush all in one spot with the Spectres have a better chance. So they have a lot of approaches they could do here, but you can see they left enough money in the bank. They didn't bolt buy out fully because even if they lose this round, they can buy again next round. Oh, wow, that's a lot of info. Win pushes through the one-way smoke at A main, Dan, breaks the boombot, one-ways himself into safety, takes the orb. That's a big play from a Jet alone in A main.
Again, we can see that GMD's actually gained some forward position in mids, and he's going to be throwing that paranoia. We saw that previously to clear out position.
Oh, no.
Catwalk, Asuna, though, able to defend, able to pick up the first kills. It's looking a little bit scary, but nice trades coming through from Michael, and GMD able to punish the rotation. That's what he was always there to do after that paranoia, so it's working out quite nicely so far for Gen.G, but Hiko, always a problem, especially when he's by himself. He gets even stronger, takes down Michael. 2 more players on the side to go as he starts to try to work this Gen position. Very difficult finding the 1v1s, isolating players, but there's simply too much to do before Steel is arriving. And arrive he does, and with the Bucky no less. Straight through the smoke! You saw it happening, but GMD, he had the sense, he knew something was awry, and he manages to pick it up. 3-0 for Gen.G.
Yeah, I pointed out early in the round, when taking control of A main, Dan, that was huge, because if you saw the minimap, 300 Thieves players really wanted to take A main this round. They threw a one-way smoke, they had a boombot, Hiko was there as the Soba, they were ready to push A main, and one Jet pushed them off of it, right? which means they probably are assuming more people than just the Jet or A main, but they're wrong. It's a fast cat split, and it caught them massively off guard. Great round by Gen.G.
Very promising to see such a solid start, but his early days still, of course. And 100 Thieves once again on the eco, looking to get aggressive in mid around cat. You can see they have players positioned fairly close by, all around market and close mid. Michael with the
Steel
drone.
is dead. Steel is dead, Dan. Oh, but
That's a big
there's a
pickup.
lack of punishing, and the drone misses Steel. It's terrible.
Uh-oh, it's starting to get a little bit scary. Gen.G, going to be defending pretty effectively, though. Still, damage has been done. We can see the situation is reset. 2 versus 2, and a lurk from Win into that A site is going to give Gen.G an opportunity to get the spike planted, which is going to be a very, very difficult scenario, I would expect, from 100 Thieves. And Win has that forward positioning on rafters, so he's going to be able to get info, fall back. He's going to be able to shut them down. He's got Cloud Burst available, the dash as well.
Beautiful position, Dan.
Enemy remaining.
And there it is. Gets the kill, plays it safe, dashes away, and then he knows precisely where Hiko is. And Hiko's, of course, going to give his position away with the recon dart. Very difficult position to find yourself in. Hiko, no stranger to a clutch. Sheriff in hand as he tries to find the first player. There is Win, and he's going to finish it off. Gen.G 4-0 up, but another anti-eco that's very scary, Sean.
Whew. I don't know how I did it. I talked about Gen.G a lot in the pregame with you, and we didn't really mention much Win. He is such an impressive player when I watch him. So many experienced plays, like lurking out of A right there. I mentioned the round before on the anti-ecos, have lurks on the opposite side of the map that can take ground. He did exactly that in the 2-on-2 and then pushed further into heaven to secure the round. I think if I had a word to describe him, it would be slippery. Like, he's very slippery. You can't find him, you can't catch him. He's so good with the movement abilities on Jet.
I'm liking how he's also representing once again that he's by himself doing this A main control. You can see his teammates are sort of lagging behind him, and that is part of their default. So it's always the case that, is it just Win or is it the entire team, question mark? Either way.
If you caught that, Dan, so he got paranoid, and GMD threw a counter paranoia to protect him in case anyone was pushing. But no one else is making noise. So 100 Thieves has no idea that 5 people are in A main right now, because it looks exactly like that cat split from the prior round. Look how out of position 100 Thieves is right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a full retake scenario for 100 Thieves here. They've completely given up control of the A site by design. We've got the lockdown destroyed. Steel. If he gets the kill, he actually has a lockdown available himself. That operator, though, it's awkward at the best of times on a retake like this. Oh, so scary. A full 5-on-5
fight,
retake.
Dan. That's a huge win from Mikael on Catwalk.
Hiko now railing onto the A site. There comes the Showstopper as well. That's going to find Win in hell, and it seems like all the ults are going to be used in this round for this retake. Michael and Kusta just stuck behind this dark cover. It's going to be so difficult. They're going to have to try to force the issue here because Escape is coming. Michael, can he get it done? Finds the second pistol, comes out, and Steel's going to find it. Has to get off the spike to do it, but he will get it. And that's the first round awarded to 100 Thieves. Crazy scenario there, Sean. Just a full 5-on-5 retake with so many ults used.
Yeah, that's a bonkers round right there. And 100 Thieves absolutely needed that to stop the bleeding, right? Wasting those ults that we saw, Hiko pop. Now they're in a pretty decent spot. Steel on that operator. He has the lockdown in his back pocket, so they could play passive on one of the sites. Nitro 1 orb away from the res. Even though the economy is lying in Gen.G's favor, these ults are shifting now into 100 Thieves' favor.
Once again, we see Win sort of representing that he might be the solo control around A main, but as we can see, the entire team of Gen.G is behind this A main take, and they're going to go for the swing. Ethan spots it. Orb is collected. Win, he's He's definitely looking to find a moment to go in here. The drone will go in first. Positions wine will be cleared, and now that's the go for Gen.G. Straight into the site. Once again, though, it's going to be given up, but Gen.G, or rather, 100 Thieves have the lockdown now that can be placed around Cat, and that's what Steel's about to do. There we go. Is there anything to destroy this?
Immediately countered by Mikhail. He's so ready, and it's down. It's a 5-on-5 retake again, Dan, but no ults this time.
And we have those knives out for win as well, so I feel like that's going to be very dangerous. It'll be so much harder to clear out these closer positions against him with no showstopper. There's so many players rafters.
They're scared to go.
And they should be. They should be extremely scared. They're going to have to force the issue there. There goes the turret, and it's starting to swing together. Win stuck in the cloud, but sprayed down by Asuna. It is very difficult here for 100 Thieves, and it gets just worse and worse as Gen.G are able to defend all of these players coming out rafters, leaving Steel in a position where he just has to save. And might be able to get one on the exit, but it's another round for Gen.G.
He needs to save this. Yeah, this is a scary spot for 100 Thieves, Dan, because what I'm seeing early is they have found a weakness in 100 Thieves Ascent. And the weakness is that this A main control is very lacking. It's not coordinated enough on 100 Thieves. And Gen.G's just strolling right up and getting it with a jet every single round. You know, there's not enough aggression on 100 Thieves right now to stop this A main. And then they're trying to play retake on A, which is a huge fail in these 5-on-5s.
And you can see 4 players for A main control here for 100 Thieves this time around. They've got Asuna's attention on that position. Of course, it is somewhat of a save rounds, still carrying what he had through previously, that operator. But otherwise, it looks like Gen.G are in a pretty good spot here. And that said, Steel is pretty good at finding these kills by himself, and the operator is the perfect weapon to do this with. And if he gets a pick and is able to fall back, that's going to be a massive, massive win for 100 Thieves in this round. Oh, that's
what a
a
peek
great
from
jump
Kusta.
peek.
That's insane. And then they're waiting on the opposite side. Holy cow, Kusta with a 200 IQ jump play.
Oh, that's so good. Because if Steel gets that pick and is able to fall back somehow, it could certainly buy a lot of time. But that's it. Operator is down, out of the picture. And 100 Thieves, they're starting to look pretty desperate, Sean, but I completely agree with you. It feels like they have to aggressively win a main control at the start of their next run round. It feels like there's nothing else that makes sense at this point.
Yeah, they have to win a main against Win. And it was too easy. You're second. But when Win spots, Nitro pushing A main as a Sage, he also feels the Omen's pressure. He feels the pressure from, I believe, one other player. His impact is incredible because he's spotting this push, and you can tell that the pace of the rest of the Gen.G players is coming in based on his comms, right? He's calling, they're pushed aggressively A main. What does that mean? That means probably mid or B is really weak right now. Let's take advantage of that. So Kusta's aware, hey, they saved an op last round. I got to be really careful around these angles because the rest of the guys are A main and the op's not there. Let me jump peek this B main corner. And once they find him, it's just over. Once they find out exactly woo! Win trying to switch it up and go into Steel, and that's not gonna work. That's the first time I think an early pick has gone in 100 Thieves' favor.
It feels like Gen.G expected there to be heavier aggression A main as well, because it looks like they were in positions to just burst onto B, expecting maybe 3 players pushing A main, but that's not the case. They just had Steel there. So it seems like now, because of that, Gen.G are coming out really behind in the mid rounds because there's 3 players to slow them down from 100 Thieves. And there you go, Asuna finding the kill pizza. And I love the ice orb there to help Asuna reclaim the ground in mid. And that completely destroys this split. Nitro playing around the wall as well. It's a desperation push at this point from Gen.G, and it's failed.
Wow. And we see it a lot in EU. If you've been watching EU lately, the Sages at B with that wall exactly like that, and then slows where they could chuck them into mid or slow down B if people try to come through the wall. And then the wall creates an extra angle for you to hide behind if you're Nitro right there. There's so much difficulty for attackers coming into B when that wall is up. I can't even state how difficult it is, right? Because he is creating new angles that you now have to be aware of when he puts up this wall. And then he's slowing the other side of the push. So you can't really pinch him properly, and you have to like use utility to clear out these angles that your strats probably aren't really designed to clear out. So I mean, Nitro plays the Sage role so well when I watch him in this B side. It's another great
100%.
example of it.
Yeah, great stuff. And I want to know, how many times was Sage nerfed and she's still amazing? You know, it's
Yeah.
it's amazing.
If you see here, he slows like that, and then Asuna has paint shells ready to nade if he sees any pressure. But the timing!
Oh, just contacting straight through. Nitro was not expecting that. No tell at all. Just straight out in there, in his face. And that's the B side under control here. Gen.G switching up the pace on 100 Thieves. And they'll even drop the lockdown. So that's going to really slow things down for 100 Thieves retake. Ooh. Everybody's in spawn here now for 100 Thieves.
It has the showstopper damage. Other than that, you get in the sight. Paranoia on the Omen, maybe?
There's the showstopper. Wind goes down towards the logs. Asuna with a good entry. It's looking not too bad right now for 100 Thieves. Gen.G starting to fight back though. There's the fake TP from G&D. Finds the timing onto Asuna. And that's going to lock down the round. Another one in the bag for Gen.G. What an incredible start from there. 7-2. That is a huge lead. And GMD actually, 13 for 3. He is fragging out. So always good to see your Omen fragging out.
There's nothing better in this game than when an Omen breaks the ankles off of someone with a fake TP, Dan. There's nothing better when Asuna turned his head not knowing where that TP went to. Oh, I love seeing that out of GMD. Gen.G is playing so loose, and this is what I was worried of for 100 Thieves, because they're breaking the timings with this aggression. Oh no, Nitro misses the wall, I think, a little bit right there. And the fights continue at A main.
And 1 for 1 at least, as far as Gen.G are concerned, that will have them at an advantage. Quick information play coming through from Ethan, regaining control around A main. But as I say that, the peek from Steel in mid is punished.
So that means alarm bot down, Dan. Turret down. No impact from a Killjoy. Oh, scary 3-on-3 for 100 Thieves.
They get the drone tag, but there's over a minute left. So
What?
going for the frags, and I don't know how Sean wins that one or how that even missed for Nitro, but it is what it is, and that's a 4 versus 2 advantage. Make that 4 versus 1. Hiko in the 1 versus 4. I don't know about this time, lads. We'll have to see, but it's a tough one.
Look, we've said in the past we're not going to count Hiko at clutches, Dan. 8-2. I'm counting him out. I'm counting him out. Not possible.
I feel like that is reasonable. And he's down to 10 HP. Shock Dart's coming through. Now there is an operator that could be saved, but I believe, but he will go down to Sean. So, you know, you mentioned Sean needs to have some impact in this game, and I feel like Sean's been doing a pretty good job. But really, for me, it feels like it is a team effort. Despite Win not having that many kills, it doesn't matter, because what he's doing in terms of creating space for the team, his part of the default, and entering sites has been extremely impactful. So everybody, it's absolutely a team effort right now from Gen.G. They are looking well oiled.
Yeah, and the confidence on the duelist, right? When taking A main super aggressively. Sean, even though he's tagged by drones 2 rounds now, I've seen him take challenges while tagged by the dog. I mean, look, these peaks coming out of the duelist. They're playing with immense confidence right now. And they are busting 100 Thieves setups and winning the gun duels. What I'm seeing out of Gen.G is the perfect counter to 100 Thieves game plan.
Yeah, you love to see it. And what's interesting is there is the monkey on the back for Gen.G insofar as this element that they to their game that they do struggle to close the big matches even when they get big leads. And I feel like they're definitely in a position to not fall to that demon of theirs and to, you know, set it all straight going forward, but that still exists in the context, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But with that said, of course, we do see a kill in middle as we get a mid-round convergence of players towards Cat as Michael clears out Cat and Tree, and that will give access to the A site where a single player lurks. It's Nitro with the Sheriff.
Spike planted.
Ooh, they didn't actually clear him out. I don't think it should matter too much because he can't have much impact unless he slimes out on the left side here and dodges the A main guy. Is he going to do it, Dan?
Player standing.
versus 4 for Nitro. There's the first frag, and Win is going to knock him down, so no chance for Nitro there ultimately. Another round in the bag for Gen.G. They are 9-2 up. It's crazy. This is the best I've seen them look on an attacking side, and they've definitely been doing a lot of work in anticipation of this game.
They have, I mean, this is a dominant performance from Gen.G, and perhaps the best performance I've seen the Gen.G Valorant squad put up in the recent months. They have been on a skyrocket type rise in the scene in NA, but this is special. Beating 100 Thieves 9-2 right now in attack, showing this kind of aggression. 100 Thieves has no answers right now. Super quick mid control coming out of Gen.G. They're gonna break this alarm bot in a couple seconds.
And there's so much
coming out
time.
of Michael.
Yeah, there's so much time in the round, and I feel like Gen.G have so much control already. Hiko with the pick, and Steel getting aggressive through A main, and Asuna able to just make things a little bit slower towards that A site. So then Steel's able to capitalize as they're slowed on that catwalk position. It's all coming together for 100 Thieves. Great follow-up from Steel with that operator. And nice little flourish at the end to finish the half with at least 3 rounds to their name. 100 Thieves, certainly not in the best of positions, but that is going to give them something to work with going into the second half. And the second half, everything could change here. 100 Thieves are on the attack now. 100 Thieves get to set the pace. Of course, it all starts with the pistol, but this is definitely not over just yet.
No, I don't think it's over yet, but like you said, the pistol means a lot right now for both of these teams. I mean, Gen.G could just close this first map out so quickly by winning the pistol. By the way, I never thought I would see a defense-sided lockdown in tiles, but here we are. And this is, I mean, 100 Thieves has no one on the B side of the map right now. This is definitely gonna be a cat split, very similar to what we saw, on the eco round from Gen.G. I think we're gonna see Hiko drone up cat, drone up A main with Ethan following it. These 3 guys going up catwalk together. A smoke at garden for them from Ethan.
Oh, Michael, I like this. Playing for A main control. And, oh, that's the spike as well, down from Michael. The trade from Win. That means Gen.G have spike control. And although, yeah, you got the A site 100 Thieves, you got to go back to A main now. And Win can waste time. He's got a cloud burst, drops it. He can fall back. He can even rotate up catwalk, which looks like he might be going for that. And this has bought time for Gen.G to get onto Rafters. And now another choke point for 100 Thieves to have to contest, but it's just simply too difficult. They are caught on both sides. The paranoia there. There goes the dash for a win to shut it down. Gen.G are going to take the pistol, and oh man, it's so, Sean, it's so smart. I love when teams, when the attackers going up catwalk, they just take a main control and give up the site. I love that so much.
God, I'm grinning ear to ear right now, Dan. It's so good to see a team like Gen.G come up through the ranks, and that might be an anti-strat because I've seen Hiko and Ethan do the same exact play previously in this bracket. So this is definitely a counter play, but I love how they recognize 100 Thieves had to wall heaven, so now they have to go back and get the spike. We should break this and be posted on them when they come out. Don't give them any respect. Don't let them have any free time to do their setups and allow them to run their strats. They're playing so disruptive.
And it's the Sheriff's back at it again here for 100 Thieves. Feels like we've been in this position a bunch of times in this Ascent game already. On the attack, they've gained some forward ground already towards mid-markets. Sean is still there, and he's got a crossfire.
Oh, they'll never expect this Omen, Dan. They'll never expect it. Great bait from Sean.
He's not trying to oversell it as well.
And then the guy shut. Oh, he overcommits.
Well, Gen.G has to try to close this down with a Spectre. He'll get both kills. There's the spike on the ground in control for Gen.G. As Michael finishes off one player top mid, Ethan's remaining. He is quite a beast with that Sheriff. We'll have to see if he can find any more action, but he'll get shut down as well. Gen.G not allowing any space to breathe for 100 Thieves as they go 11-3 in the lead.
Again, I mean, I can tell Gen.G has put in tons of homework. This is a lot of anti-shrouding going on. When we saw 100 Thieves previously approach their attack side of Ascent, Nitro would work up mid with this boom bot coming from Asuna, and then he would wall off CT spawn. They would break the door. They would cause a big ruckus. So you can see this setup was an exact counter to what 100 Thieves is running. And the pistol round, I could say the same exact thing. It's a perfect counter. 100 Thieves is just getting hard counter right now. They're running the same game plan, and Gen.G is super prepared. Hey, look at the disrespect to the turret he made. They're just...
Cool. Expecting to walk through the smoke there. Sean, as well as GMD, just doing so well in these forward positions, and oof, it's really tough right now if you're in 100 Thieves' shoes, of course. Very, very slim pickings. No margin for error at this point. Eco just with the ghost in the 1 versus 4. And Gen.G haven't shown signs of letting up a single time so far, playing everything with such a degree of focus that they seem like they have leveled themselves up. I haven't seen them looking so confident so far in this tournament until this moment. It looks very good.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, this looks beyond very good, Dan. This is like a showcase Gen.G is putting on for everyone right now, that they're a contender to win this tournament. They're definitely a dark horse based on what I'm seeing right now. Coming into the tournament, I mean, we all thought, Sentinels, 100 Thieves, FaZe, all these teams are going to be the ones to look out. Envy. No one really talks much about Gen.G, but they're now capable of this since adding Kusta, since making tiny changes to their comps, and just the style of play I see. Like, they're so proactive. Like this.
Wow. Yeah, Ethan taking down Win. Michael's in the 4th position. He doesn't want to give this up, though. He's going to be forced to eventually, and there is a paranoia used, actually. It's great to get that out of the hands of the attackers, at least. Michael falls back. Asuna, some space gained towards that B side as well. Spike being picked up by Nitro now as they'll all go back, but GMD in mid, this could actually cause problems because they have to cross these angles. They are rotating towards B, and Gen.G know absolutely everything that's happening. They are 2 against 4 though, so of course they are working from a great disadvantage in numbers, but again, holding the cross to GMD can, oh, well, there's the dark cover, so that ruins that one, but he's gonna go forwards through this one. So confident, you said it, Sean, but it won't work out for him this time. Ethan with the shutdown, leaving Michael alone with the operator in the 1 versus 4.
Oof, and absolutely, I mean, clearly a must-win round for 100 Thieves. They're down 12-3. They can't lose anymore. On the other hand, for Gen.G, you can see this is kind of a throwaway round. We mentioned it last half. They had Spectres. They didn't really invest everything they had into this round. And Mikhail's coming out of it with an operator. I mean, he picked this up off of Steel's body. So this is actually quite a successful round. Coming into the next round with an op for Hwin. He won't have to invest into it. I mean, 100 Thieves has a lot of work to do before I'm a believer in the comeback.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But this is a good start at the very least. As you say, it's kind of scary because you don't really know what Gen.G is. Oh, they actually got him beautiful there.
They full spammed him.
That's a huge win. I mean, well, speaking of Win and the operator, another one will be in the hands of Win, but that's a lot of money spent, of course.
Yeah, you can see that actually puts GMD on a Spectre, because what would have happened was Mikhail dropping the operator over to Hwin, and then Hwin dropping a rifle down to Mikhail, and then, Mikhail someone probably giving a gun over to GMD, probably Hwin, actually. And now look at the buy. It's very hobbled. That's a big find.
Jump Peak will find Win in mid, some information.
Look at this bait setup, Dan. This Reyna sitting in the corner. They know the turret's there. The second contact is made. Omen blind, swing.
Great kill from Steel. There's the blind, though. There's the swing, just as you said, Sean, and the trade is through for Gen.G. And that's actually, even though they go down 4 versus 4, that's a lot of info for them now. So there are some benefits to that, and you can see that 100 Thieves know that. They're going to speed things up, going for the push, but it's going to be difficult. There are 2 players on site. Nitro will deal with one of them, with the wall behind the smoke that we've seen so many times before. And actually, after all is said and done on the A site, Gen.G are left only with 2 players who are looking to be saving on that B side already.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of info for Gen.G. It was also a lot of info for 100 Thieves, right? The second Steel gets that frag, he knows 1's B main. The Omen paranoia comes through the wall. He knows 2 are B main. the Killjoy swings to take him out. He now knows they did a 3-person B setup, right? So that means across mid, across catwalk, across A, there's only 2 players. There's 2 players covering all the rest of the map. So 100 Thieves speeds it up super quick. After Steel realizes that, you can see the speed in which 100 Thieves approaches the A site. They pounce on it, the Omen ults into it. It's just too much to handle. They have a 4-on-2 in the A site, and it could have gone a little bit better, but everything goes 100 Thieves' way on this given round.
I think you described it really nicely, and that is definitely that's the difficulty when you're playing against a team who's defaulting, because they have the ability to react on the fly to what they see. And we'll see if Gen.G decide to start playing more passively, start playing a bit more standard themselves as we go into the following gun rounds. And we're going to see a Bucky on win. Of course, some of the saved rifles, but ultimately they're not going to be spending their last dime. They'll be keeping enough money for the following rounds. And looks pretty standard from Gen.G side of things.
I think when the turret makes contact at B main, he shock darts. So it just made contact. He's shock darting right now. I'm kind of curious if that... Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, that kind of hurt them a little bit.
I like it.
He's timing it off of the turret.
We saw 2 there. That's actually pretty big information, as opposed to just a Killjoy holding ground with G.M.G spots the spike. He is on another level right now. Takes down a second player. Huge information there for both teams once again, but it's Gen.G that surely come out the better. Win in the cap position there with that Bucky can be extremely dangerous. And with a minute to go, 100 Thieves aren't necessarily pressed for time, but it does feel quite desperate for them as they start to rotate towards this A site. And it's a complete retake setup from Gen.G. Gen.G opting not to play for info just yet. They've got the forward position in win. They're happy to give up the A site and play that retake game. And there is no lockdown available, but Michael has the Hunter's Fury.
Steel is going to put down his lockdown. They have the showstopper on Austin. I'm curious if he's just going to run in with that. They have Ethan on smokes, but they lost Hiko's vision, right? They don't have a recon. They don't have a drone. They also don't have a wall, and they always use that wall on these A hits. So the hit seems a little bit hobbled coming out of 100 Thieves, but they're going to secure the site at very least.
Oh, the timing is beautiful from Asuna. So intelligent from him. And there's 3 versus 2 on the retake now, and it's a couple of Sheriffs and a Phantom. It's not looking great. Ethan able to take down Sean, and all of a sudden, it starts to look very favorable for 100 Thieves, defending the spike. Lots of time on the spike, lots of time for the defenders to work this retake. The resources aren't there, but oh, a distraction. Michael punishes Ethan, turning away, and it's down to Steel with the operator. We've seen great things from him. He's got to do it again. Finds the shot, the 1 versus 1, and again, he will not miss the Red Bull clutch for Steel, as he always is going to lead by example for 100 Thieves.
Whew. What an impactful round coming out of Steel. We've seen him a lot on the lurk. We haven't seen him up this much, actually. This game, he's upped a lot. And I mean, people have their doubts on if this can work. When I read a lot of comments, not having that Jet main on the op, they previously had Dicey. That's so good for an operator, having those Jet movement abilities. Seeing it on Killjoy seems a little clunky, but Steel's kind of making it work so far.
There's the turret. Win will shoot that one down. 2 players B main, 2 players A main here for 100 Ds on their default. With Steel just looking after mid with that operator. So they've got a lot of vision, and they spotted nothing so far from Gen.G, Sean. So they don't really know what Gen.G are working with on their defense just yet.
No, they have a main, like you mentioned. GMD is throwing some smokes there, and Gen.G has this insane triangle setup on catwalk. If 100 Thieves takes this round into catwalk, they would be in big trouble. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the intent of 100 Thieves this round. It looks like they're probably going to end up gravitating a little bit more towards the B site. Nitro looks like he wants to wall up and look into the site. He might make that play soon. I think he is.
Kusta does have a lockdown as well. So this is, yeah.
Omen's going to TP in the site, Dan. He's going to TP in.
Oh, let's see it. Oh, love the Ice Orb as well, trying to punish the B stairs player. That is Kusta on the Killjoy. He's in a pretty difficult spot, but that's some good damage from Kusta. He's surely got to be aware of this wall situation. Nothing's come of the walls just yet in terms of actual frags, and in fact, it's going to go the reverse. Nitro falling off of the wall thanks to Sean. However, the trays come through, and it's hard to see exactly what's going on, but with Sean's double, that will change everything. They can't get through the choke point, and 100 Thieves now have no time to do anything else. It's just steal again with the operator, and, well, he's going to go down, and that's the 13-6. Gen.G with an extremely confident showing out of the gate prematurely.
Yeah.
Just because you expect the other team might have an answer, but you might want to test it first. So I would expect to see the same, and we'll go into that because we're jumping straight into the pistol here between Gen.G and 100 Thieves, and Gen.G, Wynn's going to start things off nicely.
So aggressive. Mikhail's so aggressive over here. He's droning in B lobby on defense. How is 100 Thieves going to break this B site? They're pinched.
Yeah, it's looking quite difficult, but it is a pistol, and they can certainly shoot their way out of a situation like this, although they are losing firepower by the moment. As Asuna goes down, Steel now joins the ranks of the Fallen. Nitro with a quick double to respond, but it's just too much damage from Gen.G, and I gotta say, it looked like Gen.G were very prepared for that wall mid-strat and go under tube into the B site. That is something that I've seen a lot of teams really like recently when they are running that stage.
Yeah, and if you looked at the A site, what you saw was a wall over there. So Sean, who was playing the Reyna on the prior map, is now playing Sage. What an insane difference in roles. He walls the A site to allow a quick rotation. Meanwhile, Wynn's playing so aggressive at B. That opening frag at B really, really hurt 100 Thieves because it made the hit super one-dimensional, and they're in the center of the map. So there's people in long B, there's people in B site, there's people in market, there's people in spawn, there's people flanking mid from A, and it's just too many angles at that point for 100 Thieves to take care of. Ooh, farming the orbs. Man, Gen.G looks really good.
Yeah, they definitely do. Just have to deal with this eco round, and they'll be good to go into that first gun round. Kusa able to maintain lots of control by himself here, using the turret. He's got the alarm bot on the left side too, in case he has to fall back, and they can timing through. Don't cover there to deny Kusa's vision. Kusa can't really afford to go closer than he already is, lest he risk too much.
He has that alarm bot though, so he has an alarm bot telling him if someone gets any closer than this start cover. And there's a turret also spotting.
Marshall is extremely strong. And we'll give Kusa a couple kills. And 2 for 1 there is huge. They haven't gotten any position yet, the attackers. So getting a 2 for 1, certainly something that they will find to be quite acceptable. In the meantime, Nitro able to walk up into kitchen. He might actually find a timing where they don't know, or where they are not aware as to his position, and he could use that element of surprise to turn the tables here. Nitro has the ability to somehow find a way for 100 Thieves to win this round, but he's got to find some kills. Spots one player, he goes straight for it. No trigger discipline, just go in for it, trying to find the next play. He knows there's got to be somebody else around, and he's scouting out all this information. Spotted out another one, but Sean is quick to the frag. Eco, though, able to trade, and that's going to allow the spike to go down. So that's money in the bank, but can they actually win from this position? It's not looking too bad here. They managed to get time to get into post-plant positions by B long, by yellow. There's Window. I love that. The dash on top. That's so smart. What a move from Win.
Every play Win made in that 2-on-2 was excellent, right? As him and his teammate are running up middle into the B site, he up traps into the site. What does that do? It creates 2 different elevations. So he's peeking up top, Mikhail's peeking below, but he's doing this so quickly on the fly. And then as Mikhail's dart tags the guy behind yellow, he dashes on top of it, knowing he can get a really crazy one-on-one with the guy along B. Because the guy below him, I mean, he knows exactly what's going on below him. That guy has been pinged by a recon dart. So he's safe from that fight. Everything he's doing is not only very aggressive, it's very calculated. And I really like how he's approaching this jet roll.
Yeah, totally agree. And it's going to be a massive bonus here. The 3 pistols being carried through. Not really going too much investment, but 100 Thieves going aggressive here to meet this in the A site. And it's looking kind of crazy. Win on a Spectre.
They walled up. That's so sick. They walled up.
Oh, that's beautiful. I actually missed that too.
I've never seen that.
Oh, I love that. It'll be interesting to see if we...
So fast.
I wonder if we'll get more of that in the rest of this half.
Quite unlucky, though. They take out the 2 players that really don't matter much on Icebox, right? If they took out the Omen, hitting this B site would be almost out of the question. It would be so difficult to hit this B site without smokes. But he's alive, so both sites are open. You can see Gen.G is kind of fishing around, and they're going to get caught off guard on this rope.
Oof.
One enemy remaining.
Nico able to take down both players, finishing it off, only losing 2, but again, the investment from Gen.G was quite minimal. So I don't think that they're going to be too disappointed by that.
I loved that wall, Dan. That wall was amazing. I've never seen a Sage aggressively wall, herself and a teammate up onto the catwalk so quickly. Those guys were up there immediately, and 100 Thieves was super aware. If they didn't have all 5 players there, I think Gen.G might win that little skirmish.
Let us hunt.
I just love the creative Sage walls. It's just beautiful to see. Recon down to the back of A. Recon got exchange on A. Lots of presence around mid though, going up the tube.
Ooh, op versus op, Dan.
Oh, Steel is ready for that one though. Better position on him. GMD now, does he want to make a play? He's going to hear some movement, so he could decide to just talk to his teammates and tell them what's going on. He could try to get the flank going. He's just going to stay passive and hold on to the tube position as 100 Thieves go to finish on the B site.
So Mikael just droned A and saw nothing. He's cheating over to B now. They'll have 3 people here before the hit. Yeah, like you said, this kills play also. Recon gets a ping, and now we're in a 5-on-3. Things get real difficult for Gen.G here.
Ooh, is he going to make it? Oh no, GMD can't get out of the radius in time. He did get a kill though, and he's not going to get punished. So that actually was a pretty strong play, but the res comes through from Nitro. 100 Thieves really wanting to make sure they'll secure this one. Michael taking down Steel though. That makes it a 3 versus 4 in this retake, and right now the defenders are knocking on the door and the spike was only just planted. There's lots of time. The paranoia goes out and the swing behind yellow commences. The trades are not looking good though here for Gen.G. 100 Thieves looking to convert this one. Michael though wants to kick Sting at least. Able to get anything more. So lots of powerful ultimates burned there from 100 Thieves, but they do come away with the victory, and they still have a Hunter's Fury and a Showstopper. So not looking too bad now, 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and for those watching at home, kind of wondering like the pace, who's winning this match. When I've been watching Icebox lately, it seems like the map is super attack-sided. Particularly when you have a decent comp and you have a Sage in play, so you can wall at B, wall at A, kind of get the plant down and then play a post plant. So I think things are falling right into line where you would expect them. If Gen.G starts running away with this half, I think then we end up in a weird scenario where I would heavily favor them.
See right now how passive 100 Thieves are. They're expecting, with the anticipation that their opponents have that eco rounds, that Gen.G would get aggressive somewhere, and they're just not doing it. You know, we had that wall on A previously to get aggressive, but this time around, nothing doing for Gen.G. Somewhat forward positions, but they're letting 100 Thieves make the move, and 100 Thieves, of course, at this point, they've burned quite a lot of time off the clock. They've got to start moving towards the site.
Yeah, they've got nothing. They've wasted a lot of time, and they have nothing, Dan.
They're going towards win here as well. He has the knives out. This is scary. Oh, he's going to get spotted, and with that drone spotting him, he wants to go aggressive. He's going to drop down into this cubby. And there's lots of cubbies here to work from for win.
Yeah, they're going A. They're terrified. They're definitely going A here. You can see the spike rolling back to A. 3 players going there. Mikael's droning. He's going to spot this, but these guys have no chance of making it into the site in time.
Nightmare's over.
That's going to take down GMD as well. So
30 seconds
things
left.
looking a little bit easier. The Hunter's Fury is available for Michael, but you don't want to commit that unless you feel like you have a good chance to win the round. Oh, huge pick from Steel. Absolutely massive picks from Steel. He's not stopping just yet as well. On that operator, on the Killjoy, he's been something of a revelation for 100 Thieves. And although they're supposed to win this round, there were a lot of landmines laid out by Gen.G that 100 Thieves managed to evade.
I mean, things looked really scary for a second there, especially when Hiko's drone missed when he got really close. You just felt, you know, the Korean jet vibe, just right click, dash, like just chaos, right? We all felt it coming, but 100 Thieves thought better. I think Hiko maybe gave some good comms from that drone info, and they just rolled back to A and just take a free site. Good mid game from 100 Thieves to stabilize there. Op versus off again here at A. Oh no, Win has a rifle here. So Steel's gonna end up peeking into him, and this is interesting because this is a cool little smoke setup.
This Riot coming out there. Nice find by Win. Takes down Steel. That's a massive pick. Another one, the trade attempt late from Eco fails. That's going to leave 100 Thieves in a very bad position. They have to work B now, and there's going to be sound cues there for GMD, who's sitting in middle by Orange, so he's going to know exactly what's going on. The rotation's coming through.
Ooh, how does 100 Thieves stabilize here? It seems so difficult in this 3-on-5. Get the spike down. That's a huge win, but Nitro's still really low.
There is a showstopper available for Asuna, but Ethan's going to take the forward battles. They know they have to get some early wins here on the fights to make this even possible, but it's not looking too good. We've got Nitro playing by the wall here in this gap. Really scary position. Asuna caught throwing the paint shells, and although Nitro gets that pick and is playing around the wall so well, there is only so much that he can do. And that's going to be Gen.G with the retake, surviving with 3 players, so pretty good look for them.
Definitely good look. And there's the res for the Econ. Win's about to lock it in once everyone gets their weapons. I think he's going to go look for that operator over at the A site. You can see Kusto's booking it. He's trying to get to the operator that Steel had. So they're going to get Win that op for next round. Really smart play to not stick the defuse. On the other side of the coin, though. Oof. 100 Thieves. You know, it's that phase syndrome I'm getting right now, right? Where Quinn took those fights to people on 100 Thieves, and he's conditioning them to not want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing so aggressively. He's making them want to use utility more than they probably want to, more than they planned on doing, because he's aggressively just winning the fights.
And we have a 2-man setup here on B-Long. Again, it's going to be this operator from Win, which they may not expect, plus GMD early in the early timings, but nothing going on there, so GMD rotates. Oh, and it's a very fast push through mid here, going straight overboard. Let's see what can be found with his showstopper. Oh, the rocket sent, but it will not find its target, as Gen.G are defending extremely well right now. Steel with a nice double to give a chance here for 100 Thieves, and he's going to be able to make his way into the site as well. But there's only so much that he can do. Win with such a good pick, and it leaves Ethan in the 1v3 now, and the spike's in the middle of the open here, and that's going to be very difficult for Ethan to recover. He's got a smoke now available. Need to take the fights though, and a Win with one straight in the side of his head. 4-3, and Win, just as you said, Sean, you know, it's crazy we didn't talk more about him in the pre-game, but he's looking very decisive on Icebox so far.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous rotate. I mean, that's exactly what you would want. If your Jet is opping B, right, and totally out of the picture, and you have this insane mid-A split coming in for 100 Thieves that you rarely see, right? A wall, and then a pre-slow on Boiler, the ramp, Asuna, you know, ulting up, satchelating into the spawn. It was so aggressive. But when repositions deep in defender spawn on top of that little roof, and he just outplays them perfectly. Oh, dear.
That's nasty. Not sure about that Cloudburst, but it's cool at least. And, oh, hello. Oh.
Yeah, I hate to see that.
Well, at least Win escapes with his life. And 100 Thieves again left in a position where they're in trouble. Steel is lurking towards the A site, but it's a very delicate dance. And you can see that Sean is anticipating that this is possible. Right now, Gen.G leaving the player on A tells us they know that Steel likes to lurk those spots. And Asuna, though, he's so deep towards Snowman, getting these frags that's surely going to convince the rotation. But the running's hard of Steel, and it looks like it was a beautiful hold from Sean. He waited long enough to catch Steel out. With that said, though,
a huge miss from Hiko. Now we're in a 3-on-2, and this could literally go either way.
Yeah, it's looking very tough. Nitro, oh, he's going to find this kill, and he will. Takes down Sean, leaving Kusta. 1 versus 2 now. And they're going to play this so disciplined. I say that, the swing comes through from Nitro, and he's good off the first shot, and that's going to be a wrap. Very back and forth here now, 4 against 4.
Very, very back and forth right now. I mean, it is 4-4, but if I'm observing this game from an analytical point of view, it does seem like Gen.G's ahead. And it takes a miracle out of Asuna pushing through a smoke, you know, finding this blind opening onto the B site. He has no help. no one's with him, right? He has to find these frags to bring his team back in the round, and luckily he does. He had so much impact, though, on that entry.
Well, we're going to get a fast one, it looks like, towards the A site, though. Just Sean there. The rest of Gen.G are pushing mid and or well, at least position around B long, so they are in retake territory, whether they like it or not, if the pace continues here from 100 Thieves. So for Sean, he's dropped that wall, and you can see a contact here from 100 Thieves. They don't want to give the game away, but with that said, the positioning of Gen.G, they should surely know exactly what's going on right now.
Ooh, that's a lot of info on a drone. The drone clears all of the site. You can see 100 Thieves just walks on in, plants the spike. Now we just get chaos here. They're going to break the wall, so it's a little bit easier for them to defend the site.
Drone going through as well.
This retake is very tense. It means a lot for both of these teams, Dan.
Both Killjoy ultimates coming down, the lockdowns in play. Sean trying to lurk out there. He's got the ability to just get out there a little bit and get back behind the radius. Ooh, Wind going in though. Again, trying to find the difficult timing. Nitro, he's going to get traded off of that. So it was probably worth it though, taking down Wind with those knives. Asuna defending close by the spike, able to get traded out as well. So Gen.G are making ground. They're making distance. The trades are going their way so far, but it's a 2v2. And it's going to be Ethan to just take it all. 100 Thieves winning that by a hair.
Ooh, he got the 140 Phantom Dink and clutched out the round. Oh man, Ethan winning that round, just clawing through, bring 100 Thieves to 5 rounds. That's a big round too, because if you look at the economy on Gen.G, this is where 100 Thieves starts to stabilize. If they just secure their economy here, have a clean round, they likely run away with this half at this point.
More of a mid focus coming through this time around for 100 Thieves, and that might catch this tube walk that we're about to see, or maybe vice versa. Not expecting to see a Bucky right there at that time of the round, and now still is with him going down there, dropping the operator as well. Gen.G's going to use the dark cover to absolutely crush with the Bucky, and I don't know how the hell he's getting so much value. Asuna dropping off to find Win at least to give some kind of a chance here, but that is outrageous. And you know what? I feel like it is just desserts for Steel, being on the receiving end this time of the bucket.
That is very true. He deserves it. He deserves it. That's karma. That has to be karma, right? Just getting buckied like that.
Yeah.
After all the bucking we've seen out of him.
I feel like if we could see his face, he'd just be nodding and just be like, yep, that makes sense.
These guys are going to walk into the A site. And again, Gen.G is playing full retake on this A site. And I think if 100 Thieves just, walks into the site and everything goes like it seems like it's going to go, we're going to see a lot more A hits in the future. Because they're now realizing the A site is a little bit weak.
The showstopper is up for Asuna, so that does actually make this quite scary. Being able to defend and use that showstopper as the defenders come in to retake through these choke points might give opportunity for at least one free kill out of that ultimate. And then it's a 2v3, and they're going aggressive actually around screen. I love this. Instead of falling back, like you might expect, they know they have to get early kills. Oh, the jump peek is genius. Showstopper out. Incredibly key frags coming through from Ethan. Asuna though in the 1 versus 2, very doable. Playing around 410, seeing what he can find, looking for the 1v1. And he's going to find it. My God, Asuna! That's insane! Just one more to go as he buys time, working his way back around 410. And he's going to see Sage, and he's going to take him down. Great play from Asuna for the Red Bull clutch. My God, Sean, this guy is nuts.
That was absolutely beautiful from 100 Thieves. It's one of the few times we've seen them bring the aggression. And again, it comes from the young star in Asuna, right? They take that push towards screens. You said it was such a good play. I couldn't agree more. They could not have fallen back and played that 4-on-2 passive and won it. They get proactive. Ethan gets the 2 frags. It then is in Asuna's hands to close out the last 2. And who better on 100 Thieves than him to do that right now?
Big plays. All started with the bucket this time. The operator! Oh, looked like a collat almost. But it is traded out this time. You can see that 100 Thieves are adapting to the shenanigans around Tube, and they get the res off too, securing the 5 versus 4. Meanwhile, Eco's getting that info. He's clearing out those positions towards A, and it's got to feel very confusing for Gen.G because right now 100 Thieves kind of resetting the situation. They could go anywhere right now.
Yeah, and they walled mid to peek into B. Steel goes down again. Opening death twice in one round. I can't feel too good. But Asuna, this man is mad right now.
Yeah, but he just doesn't care. We get the res coming out from Sean, though. That puts it back to a 3 versus 3. It's kind of crazy. Kusa with the swing. That elevated position around B long. And Nitro, easy punish onto Michael. Trade through from Sean. And now it's up to Sean to try to clutch with Sage. He's got an Ice Orb. That's basically it in terms of utility. He has full HP at least. And right now, you know, there's 30 seconds, so not too much pressure on 100 Thieves. They've got time to get this spike planted. Sean might get caught here on the rotation. The flick comes through. Ethan is not going to whiff that. That's going to be the the 7th round in favor of 100 Thieves.
Before the switch.
And the importance of that 4-on-2 eco, you can just feel it right now. You can just feel how important that round was to just how this match is playing out right now. We go from potentially a tied game to now, you know, ending the half at maybe 8-4. I mean, this doesn't seem like an 8-4 half for 100 Thieves, but they won the important rounds and they won a couple huge clutches. They're battling back, especially Austin. I can't state that enough. He is having so much impact.
Bomb grenade out.
Kusta still, you know, trying to keep control of this B long position. It's a very difficult position. Gonna have to fall back here. Does have support from Gen.G on the site. 100 Thieves look pretty committed towards this. They've got Steel in mid, as you'd expect. And Win is walking down cheap as well. So he might find Steel. That's in the meanwhile.
Gen.G spotted by the recon, Dan. Little bit of a misplay right there. He thought he could slime away, go on the left side of the yellow. He just didn't work out. Still about to get shotgun twice in a row in the same way.
I feel like...
Oh, dear. The mold will be building.
I want to see it. Oh, he whiffs the shot. He even gets the shot off too. And that's the job of the operator to win, no less. The Jet. That's fantastic for Gen.G's chances here. Equalizing into a 4 versus 4. The spike still needs to be planted in this position. Oh, peeks through the nano swarm. Kusta, what a genius. So confident, is knocking every player down. There's only Hiko remaining. Out comes the Hunter's Fury. He wants to find Kusta. He knows he's low. He wants to destroy that lockdown. But you know what? He's going to get absolutely annihilated by Sean. And that is going to be 5 rounds for Gen.G at the end of the first half. This Icebox is on right now for both of these teams. We're seeing so much great stuff either way, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, Bach did mention this is the coldest map, Dan, and revenge is indeed a dish best served cold. Oh! Sorry, I'm sorry I had to do it. I had to do it. The shotguns coming in onto Steel. It feels so poetic. It feels like he should be getting shotgunned after what we've seen lately.
I respect, but also hate you.
Yes, I know.
All right. I mean, you said it on Ascent as well, and a pistol is always extremely important. Gen.G obviously trailing here, and are we looking to see any shenanigans off the bat here from these initial positions? Doesn't look like it.
Looks pretty standard from 100 Thieves, if I'm being honest. Steel alone at A, though, kind of interesting. We don't really see much Killjoys soloing A like this anymore, but he has some help from Ethan with the smokes. Gen.G is going to come into him, though. They're definitely coming A here. Probably behind Mikhail's drone.
Oh, and there's a push garage as well from B long, and Kusa, he spots it, so he's able to at least fight if they push him. They're not going to push him just yet. The rotation is very far away at this point. Kusa's trying to... Oh, no, he's going to go down. Didn't disengage quickly enough, and Sean with the wall there to try to get something going. Oh, the classic, the jumping classic from Sean. That stings for Steel. Didn't know what hit him, and now 4 versus 4.
On the flank, Dan.
And the spike is planted, and as you say, up on the belt, so it's a pretty difficult position to deal with. Asuna can just toy with them. He doesn't even have to commit to any fights to be an absolute pain in the ass for Gen.G, but Gen.G have the man advantage right now. Here comes the push straight through. Ethan opens it up nicely, and Asuna's paint shots come through as well. So great stuff from 100 Thieves, able to pick it up. But spike did go down, so I wonder if we'll see some force buy action in the following round.
Yeah, I mean, the last time that I really took an in-depth look at Gen.G playing Icebox, it was around the Stinger meta time, and they had a ridiculous mid-B split. It looked amazing. I hope we get the chance to see it again at some point this game, but it might be like one of those Stinger exclusive type strats.
Last player standing.
It's a treat. Honestly, they just basically fly through mid with a Sage wall.
There.
I think they might be doing it. Oh my god. This is going to be epic. Are you ready, Dan?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Placing sentry.
Strapped in. I'm ready to get in the brace position. Up mid they
Walking
go.
up.
Revealing area.
Dark cover there. Oh, that's a big recon. It will get taken down though. And they're going
Oh,
up
this is
tube
just
into
a slimy
kitchen.
strat. They're just all slimy into kitchen right now.
And that kitchen position. Steel's getting close with the Bucky. Looking for that revenge. Here comes the Bucky. Steel's not going to find anything with the Bucky. 2 kills going towards Gen.G, but here comes Nitro. They have the Spectres. They should be able to clean up most of these players. Spike's planted though. That's a lot of money again in the bank. Going to help out Gen.G, regardless of what happens here. But still, Nitro's looking to see if he can find that cleanup. That Spectre. Of course, you don't want to overexpose yourself here. And there goes the Bucky. Dropped by Steel. Put to great use. Really scary here now as Ethan tries to find his way into the site. Gets tagged by the drone. Oh no. He does manage to take down Win though. Another player on the corner. Ethan still picks it up. Alone now against Kusta in the 1v1. Time is starting to be a problem. There goes the Nano Swarm. Oh, Kusta with the Ghost. It just does too much damage. And Gen.G good for the Thrifty. He said they slammed their way up into the kitchen and it certainly worked.
Wow, yeah, that is not at all what I expected. When I saw them all gather on mid, I thought they would have this explosive utility usage where they just run through mid. They just kind of lurched their way into the kitchen and just, you know, overwhelmed all the players on 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves never, ever saw that coming. At no point were they ready for that amount of people that pushed up. And it looked like, you know, Gen.G would just swarm a player. Whenever they see someone, they would just swarm them. And 100 Thieves just kept getting taken out in unfavorable duels.
Oh, getting the mid aggression going straight back out from under Thieves. Getting up close to that dark cover. Kusa's here to watch plays. I don't know if he's going to be able to take down all these players. He's going to be getting pre-fired before they come through the smoke. Sean, though, is ready. Great angle. Really favorable angles coming in here for Gen.G as they take the fight back to 100 Thieves. And Sean, pop, and they're all gone.
Whew. Whew. My doppelganger just literally flicking on heads over there. Gen.G, Sean. Gathering the res, too. So it's important that someone like Sage gets plants in. They get easy eco frags because the res is so important in pro play. You know, getting these rounds where you can have a throwaway life, someone can play super aggressive. You can have Win, take this operator and just updraft onto the railing right now and take a super aggressive fight. And normally you would never want to do that in a round like this. So this is gonna be really cool. He did it. He updrafted right away. Meanwhile, GMD's also being aggressive at B. So you can see the power of the res. The power of the res is just freedom to have aggression.
GMD is actually so scary right now what he's doing. He's
Yeah,
not
look where he is.
stopping at all. He's just pressuring so hard right now, and that's going to really feel very strong. And I like this though. 100 Thieves trying to actually respond by taking mid control, but they're getting punished for doing it.
Both B players are down, and someone's already in B that they aren't even aware about, Dan. There's already an Omen here, and he's killing Hiko in the side of the head in mid. The round is over, Dan. It's a 5-on-2. These two players are on A, and Gen.G has no intentions of heading that way. Great round by Gen.G off the back of that frag from Kusta.
Oh, they're just Gen.G are playing so much. I feel like they're playing so much better across the board. It's from just a week ago. I really felt I didn't feel underwhelmed a week ago, but I didn't feel like they had that dark horse or that potential to be a good dark horse pick. But right now, as you said, they're looking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean they did this round with the polar opposite aggressions, right? GMD pushing through B, Win pushing by A, and the plan was initially to go to A, but that changes when people come mid into Kusta, right? People actively tried to find Kusta, and they paid the price. He shut down the star fragger Asuna on a Killjoy lurk roll, right? And that changes everything. People come back to B, they catch Steel in the middle with an Odin, not really a favorable duel if I'm being honest. They take him out, I mean, the round's literally over at that point because of GMD's position, though. Gen.G looks really, really good.
Win on that operator is such a scary prospect too, and it doesn't feel like because we're not seeing that Jet on 100 Ds, they don't have that same kind of danger factor that a Jet
Yeah.
gives you. Like it's such a you can condition opponents so effectively with Jet because it just feels like everything could be scary.
This is gonna be fun.
Whereas I don't feel that way about how 100 Ds have their composition right now. So that's just part of the nature of this.
Yeah, I think the scary thing with these Jets in pro play right now is they could play aggressive, they could play passive. And look at this wall. Oh my goodness. Ethan TP is on top of Nitro's wall. It doesn't matter. We're already in a 5-on-3 yet again.
Yeah, these eco rounds. It feels like 100 Thieves have had so many eco rounds across these two maps.
Gen.G, it seems like they've had the right answer and the right setup, the perfect counter every round so far. You can tell they've done their homework coming into this matchup. And if I'm being honest, like I don't see how 100 Thieves comes back into this game because they're such a structured team that in order for them to win this game, they have to break that structure. They have to go into the unknown. They have to take the gloves off of some of their players because everything they normally do is very readable right now.
Well, as you say about taking the gloves off, Sean, Nitro has taken everything off. He's just out there right now, exposed, but doing everything to keep this round alive for his team. Lane Screen's aware that there could be that mid lurk, just giving up some of the sites so that he can play with his team. It's a 3 versus 2 in favor of 100 Thieves thanks to Nitro with those 2 quick kills. Time is a problem now as well. Win. The flick missed, and oh my god, the res comes in. Wins in a 1v4. He's got to get the spike. He's got to plant it, and he's got no time. The round is over. The round is over, and if Win survives this, that would be a miracle. Because what's up? It's Asuna right around the corner for the Thrifty. 100 Thieves were just literally just when they're getting counted out, Sean.
Yes.
They're back
I'm
in
literally
it.
live counting them out as they're bringing back this insane eco. But they did it in the way that I said they would need to, right? Nitro making this individual play. He's able to swing, right? The round has broken down. We're in an eco. And people are making individual plays for 100 Thieves. They need to do that on gun rounds. They need to have that approach moving forward and not just when they're saving. I mean, they have that random style when they're saving because they know they have to catch people off guard to win the round. And that's a beautiful 3-on-5 they just won. But I still lack the confidence in them closing out this game from what I've seen, which is crazy for me to say because 100 Thieves coming into this tournament, I thought they were the favorites to win it.
Yeah, they won first strike.
Yeah.
It's like they know how to win. All these
This is
players,
insane.
the lineup that they have, all these players are closers, all of them. At big tournaments, there's a lot to be said for the experience on their team, and I completely agree with you. But Gen.G, they're just bringing such a great level to this, but with that said, it's not over just yet. And this is just map 2. If you're just joining us, you might be in for a ride here because Win pulls out the knives, he pulls out the blades,
He's coming at Hiko. He's coming at Hiko right now.
and he's looking for it. He gets it. Shears his head right off with those daggers, and that is a problem. You've lost your Sova straight away. Great pick to find.
It makes them all go to mid, Dan. 100 Thieves is massively out of position for either site right now. Gen.G has so many options after a pick like that. They're going to drone into B. The good thing for 100 Thieves is that the star player Asuna remains at this site.
One drone, but there's no info on A as well for 100 Thieves. They have to guess. As you said, they've got some play in mid to try to put the pieces together, and 100 Thieves do have position towards this site. There goes Asuna. Rocket comes out. Asuna, what can he find? He can't even pull the trigger. Win takes him out of the skies, and that's going to be a huge win for Gen.G. Win is not done just yet. Darting all over the place. The frenzy's in hand now that the blades are gone, and it's really no chance left in this one for 100 Thieves. They've got 2 players. And I don't think Ethan, he's out here because if he gets given a couple easy kills, they can maybe decide to try to do something, but it's just not being given. The discipline from Gen.G is there, and Win is looking to find the backs of one of these players, and he might just be finding both of them. Ethan is right below him.
Ethan has to save this weapon. Ethan absolutely has to save this weapon. You can see Sean on Gen.G's side is on the hunt. He is right behind Ethan.
Oh, that was close to it. We have 5 bullets left. He's not confident to be able to save that. He does have a couple dark covers, so there is, I think, was a possibility for that. But Kusta takes him down regardless. 9-9. We have a hell of a game on our hands here, Sean. And again, this is just map 2. And for those who missed the first map, Gen.G did manage to take down 100 Thieves on Ascent, which was Gen.G's map choice in convincing fashion. Gen.G looking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was such a convincing first map. And that's part of the reason why I think we're doubting 100 Thieves coming back into this game, even though we're sitting at 9-9. I mean, this is literally a tied game, but it feels like Gen.G is ahead.
You're completely right. I can't really understand the scoreline, given that feeling. You're so right with that. But moving into this one is we're going to see Win actually moving towards A, actually, with the rest of his team. They've left GMD once again lurking towards that B-long position, entertaining the defenders who are looking for information, clearing these positions. They want info, and GMD might be giving it to them. He's going to back away, though, and steals force out of the site, pretty much.
If you look at this, then I mean, this is a Killjoy and Opera. He doesn't have many movement options here. Like, if this Jet pounces on him, he's in big trouble.
Nitro, that repeak, I feel like he wanted to try to get a wall or something here to slow this down, and the wall comes through, and that will allow him to put his attention elsewhere. Spike is planted. The mid play is actually being diffused by 100 Thieves, so 100 Thieves definitely looking a bit better on the retake than otherwise. They would have let these players up mid, and Asuna, he's going to find the duel against Kusta, who is going to win it.
Wow, again and again, Kusta's winning this mid battle, Dan, and he takes out the star player on the retake.
We've got a res available on Sean as well, and there's no ultimates here for 100 Thieves unless Hiko gets a kill. Nitro picks off Win, going aggressive on the stage. The battle stage coming through for 100 Thieves. Can he do it again, though? Can he make the difference? He's doing it so far. Another headshot from Nitro as Michael goes down, hits the ground hard as Kusta is now just the only man left standing. He's going to have to try to get there in time, but Hiko, speaking of time, has none of it, and that's going to be the round for Gen.G, going down to the last.
Fall to it looked like 100 Thieves was going to retake that site. Everything was going so well. I think Nitro is keeping his confidence level high despite, you know, all of these unfavorable situations that keep happening to the team. His experience is allowing him to realize that he has to take over the game. That's what I'm feeling when I watch Nitro. A lot of peaks that he normally doesn't have, but he's doing it because he feels like he has to take his team over the finish line. And this is scary. This is scary for 100 Thieves. Look at their money. It's dwindling, Dan. They're going to have to save and give up 11, potentially.
Very scary situation to find yourself in. And, man, it's crazy. It's just such a crazy game. We need it to go to 3, Sean. I think there was a fundamental need that we have.
I mean, out of all the options in the series, right? Like 2-0 100 Thieves, 2-1 100 Thieves, 2-1 Gen.G, 2-0 Gen.G. I feel like the 2-0 in Gen.G's favor would be the least picked option if I were to do a poll in the community before this game. It is, no one would say that. I mean, you would have no logical reason to say something like that. So this is a stellar performance we're seeing right now from Gen.G.
No, the operator, great kill to Ethan. The jump heat comes through. You thought it was nerfed. Think again. Not in the hands of Win. And that's a very early 5v4. And let's look at it this way too. With the ecoing team, one of the ways that you can mitigate the disadvantage that you have in weapons is with your numbers. And having a player picked off early like that makes it so much better for the attackers. Such a big relief for Gen.G to get that early find.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at 100 Thieves right now, 1, 1, 1, 1. They're all split across the map. You mentioned having numbers in areas could help on ecos. They're doing the exact opposite. But part of the reason is because of that opening pick. It puts so much doubt in your heads, right? You have to spread out and figure out what's going on.
And Gen.G, they're playing it perfectly. They're just using the time to suggest that they could be doing anything. And there it is. They show their hand, moving up B-long. When able to clear some of these close positions, and if they can get to yellow, then the wall actually goes up. That's an interesting one. That might help buy time for this rotation for the
30
defenders.
seconds left.
There's 30 seconds, so they
Oh.
can't go back to the other site. Great pick from Asuna. 100 Thieves might be slowing this down just enough to give themselves a chance to win this round. There goes the Hunter's Fury, and this is now looking extremely bad for Gen.G. They've got to get the spike planted, but it's looking almost impossible. Asuna's putting the pressure on.
Dan, the
Nitro is
time.
behind the wall, and they
He's
don't have
ulting
time.
A.
The ult comes through,
Is
but they
there
don't have time to get the spike
I don't
there.
think there's time.
Player
There is no
standing.
time. So long as they stay alive, as long as Asuna lives, the round is over. He's going to do it. He's going to be alive in time, and that's the Red Bull clutch coming through. My God. The delay was so important. That wall was
Oh.
genius.
What an an amazing wall, but then Asuna finding the pick over the wall. Hiko ulting to slow things down further. Paint shells, Boombot rolling around on the ground. It's just, it doesn't stop because Gen.G didn't give themselves time. And then when, unfortunately, I mean, GMD had the right play to ult to A, but he probably should have taken the spike with him because
Yeah.
the spike couldn't make it. I mean, oh, very unfortunate round there for Gen.G. We're at 10-10, and I mean, again, this is anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I was wondering about the TP there in the spike, but that's a conversation for another time as we're into the thick of it. And a lot of pressure towards the A side of the map. This looks very default for Gen.G right now. GMD, working the garage lure, keeping 100 Thieves honest, not being able to push that position against him. And right now, actually, Gen.G, it feels like a lot of pressure, but they are still just pretty slow around this mid position as well. Looking for any picks. And you could see that 100 Thieves are looking for something. But they've got to be so
Yeah.
careful. You can't give up that first pick.
They have to be really careful, especially because, so Mikhail, every time he's droned, they've gone to that site, is what I've noticed. But he just droned B, and they're now grouping A. So they've set a precedent of having
should
that be a
run.
thing in their strats.
Oh.
And they are further faking this B strat. They bring the Killjoy ult over. And look, Dan, look at the rotations on the minimap. The only person left is Nitro.
Oh, but it looks like they realize what's going on here. This is not going to be all of the way. Win gets the opening pick, Asuna goes in, but Win responds in kind. Great stuff with the operator.
enemy
Gen.G looking pretty damn good right now. It's only one player left, so even though 100 Thieves didn't fully buy the fake, it doesn't matter because they moved out of position enough that Gen.G were able to take them out. And maybe there's something to be said for the fact that 100 Thieves just were hesitant. They didn't know precisely what was happening, that they couldn't even think to just be playing for retake. But that
Yeah.
gave the picks there to Gen.G to give them that round.
Dan, I think it's very, very telling. And I mentioned it in the first eco. But it seems like, I think 2 out of the 3 rounds 100 Thieves has won this half have been eco rounds. And it's because they're playing with a looseness to them on those rounds where people they don't have defined utility. And they're just playing kind of freely. But on these gun rounds, it just looks like Gen.G is so drilled. They're outplaying them every single gun round I watch.
And they're just going to try to contact up B. And this is such a break of the default from Gen.G that this will not really be expected.
I think they're doing this because of the economy. It's like they just don't think that 100 Thieves has the economy to take these lines.
And so far, so good. Some of the early challenges will go the way of Gen.G. Nice shock dart kill from Hiko. And if they can find anything out of Asuna's operator, anything out of these sheriffs, maybe there's a world where this can happen. And he's going to go down by the crates. Asuna, you talked about not having much to fight the lines. They have that one big gun, and it's so far delivering. Asuna, will he try to go more aggressive with this? They're going to be forced to try to peek this. A dark cover comes through to block Asuna off. He's got to go forward as the spike defuse is coming in, and it's going to be defused. There's nothing that they can do about it.
Enemy remaining.
GMT is going to be able to take down one at the end, but 11-11, Sean, and this is just so
This is
mad.
insanity. This is actual insanity. I can't believe what we're getting to witness right here. And I rarely say things like this, right? In-game leader, like I try to dissect the strats. Asuna and Nitro on an individual level, ditch the strats. These guys are carrying 100 Thieves through this map right now. And if 100 Thieves steals this map, all the credit must go to those 2 players.
It must. Still working the operator from B long, much as we saw Kusta doing for Gen.G on their defense. When popping those blades, and again, the pressure comes through towards A. Again, we've seen this. This is the default. It's the jump peeking there to try to, be protected against any angles. Wall goes up in response.
I'm so scared for 100 Thieves right now, Dan, because this A site has proven to be very weak.
Oh, there we go. Win gets the right click, looking for the second, and he gets it as well. Ethan goes down, and 100 Thieves, they needed Ethan to survive to get a kill, something. Playing retake now is going to be hard. They've got the lockdown from Steel. It feels like that's their best chance here in this one to take this round, or do they save? I feel like there's so many questions right now for 100 Thieves, Sean.
I think they have to save this lockdown for an actual gun round. They're debating it right now. They need a pick. They need something to open up this round, and it's not coming. Gen.G playing so disciplined, and you can see Steel moving away from the site, pretty much insinuating this is going to be a save. 100 Thieves has to save these weapons and take them into the final round.
Oh, and
honestly, though, they might be worse with the weapons. From what we've seen this might be the anti-logic play.
It's so crazy too, because oftentimes, if you can get to play a retake, I feel like, the chances can be a lot better. Still could have used the lockdown. Oh god, that's scary. But they still could have used the lockdown, right? You could have had more players alive. Ethan could have survived perhaps, but because of the way these contact plays are going, much like with the fake, and they're not expecting to be in retake mode yet, they're getting caught in committed battles where they're losing. I love the drone combo into the updraft for Win to know exactly where to send those knives. And Ethan feels so much pressure to trade there, and it's just so difficult.
It's so difficult. I mean, the jet dagger Win's so good with the movement. I mentioned it before the game. He's just floating. How can you have good crosshair placement if he's creating a new spot that you can't be aware of? It's brilliant jet play coming out of Win all series long.
Asana's getting aggressive in G, or at least looking to do so, maybe off the back of utility from a teammate. Recon goes out, and of course, if someone shoots that, he can peek. There's various ways he can play with that, but
he's lost this fight a lot, and he's coming back, Dan. Gusta's won this twice now. Does he win it a third time?
Oh, the alarm bot's genius. The drone comes through, though, and that's going to be the action that Asana wants, and the alarm bot's going to send Asana back as well, so somewhat of an even trade there. Such intensity early on as the play comes to A.
Shallow breathing, Dan. Help me get through this. This is getting so tense. You can feel just the round slows down here. The A hit's going to come. 100 Thieves feel it coming. You can see 4 people kind of huddled around this site right now. Ethan with the information all further tells them this is going to be an A hit. Oh.
And this would be 100 Thieves eliminated from the tournament if they lose this round. It's all on the line here for 100 Thieves.
30 seconds left.
The situation is looking very grim, but there's not that much time to plant the spike, so they have to start moving forward now for that spike plant. Gen.G looking to get it down, and they will. And it's a retake here. Steel has the lockdown for that retake, but they've lost Nitro. They're in a 4 versus 5 on this one. Asana backside doesn't have the showstopper. He'd have to get 2 kills to get it as he pressures forwards. Oh, he's going to use the wall here. He's going to find the pick onto Sean. And with that, maybe there's a chance. Window on the trade, playing the Pipe's position, dropping off. And there comes the Hunter's Fury as well from Michael. It goes from bad to worse here for 100 Thieves as they start to fall until there is just no more. And it's all Gen.G. They eliminate 100 Thieves.